Hey, Coach, man, what time is it?
Oh, Slim, you know what time it is. 6 o'clock, straight up and down. It's HomeSpun Sports with Coach John Montgomery. Sports talk with a twist of down-home wisdom. Welcome. So glad you have tuned in once more and again. It's HomeSpun Sports Talk. We just a little bit, just a little twist of down home wisdom. I am your host, the coach. I'm right here in good old Houston, Texas. John W. Montgomery II, back in Oklahoma. They call me John 2. But way up there in Dale City, my ride or die. The producer, the man behind the glass, my kinfolk. What's up, Slim?
How you doing, Coach?
Man, I'm pumped, man. Slim, I'm pumped, man. You know, Slim, man, coaching is all about relationships. And when it comes down to relationships, I am so grateful for a relationship that I have with my friend and brother, who is our very special guest for episode number 17 here in season 3. He won't admit it, and he probably hadn't. He did way more in football than I ever did. But I sacked him. Long time ago in the Cotton Bowl. They whooped us. It was 65-3.
Damn!
Slam, I never will forget it. But I sacked him one time, and that's my claim to fame with football. And certainly everyone will know his claim to fame in football. Super Bowl MVP, college football Hall of Famer, Heisman Trophy finalist, first-round draft pick. We'd be here all night, but we've been boys a long time, and I'm just so grateful that he thought it not robbery to come back and spend a few minutes with us on HomeSpun Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, my show enough partner, my former boss, Douglas Lee Williams.
You sure not bring a guy in, John.
Man.
I appreciate that, man.
Hey, Coach, we appreciate you spinning the block to make the show again, Coach.
I appreciate that, man.
Hey, look, it's hard not to make the show want to spin this block, man. Y'all make it fun just listening to you, man.
man, Doug, man. Woo, but Lord have mercy. Well, do we go back a minute? But I'm just so grateful. Doug, I'm just so grateful, man, that for your spirit, man, that you would come on our show and kick it with us for just a minute. Doug, we talked about a number of things in our many conversations, and right now, you were a hell of a football player in college. You got into coaching, did well in coaching. You've been outstanding athlete, sports celebrity, head football coach. Hell, you've run the gambit. There's a guy in Jackson, Mississippi, who's walking in the same shoes you walking in. Okay? In another time and space, I get it. And we talked about it. The Deion Sanders got Jackson State number 5 in the FCS poll. Now, if the bracket came out today, he'd be in the tournament and have a very high seed. And he said, I ain't thinking about no FCS tournament. I'm going to the Celebration Bowl. And after talking this over with you and the points you enlightened me, Doug, I didn't know it cost $500,000. Come on now.
250.
Ooh, 250K. Okay.
The play-in. But at the same time, too, the SWAC conference a few years ago, because of Grambling and Southern playing the game so late, we was ruled ineligible to go to the playoff anyway, because if Southern or Grambling, which we all had qualified back in the day, neither one of them would have been able to go because of the Bayou Classic.
Okay.
So therefore, it kind of eliminated the SWAC out of the playoff. That's why North Carolina A&T and Tennessee State and people like that, they was able to go because they didn't play that game on Thanksgiving weekend. They was done with the season.
And so, yeah, and I understand that, and I don't blame you. You know, last year, Buddy Pugh and the South Carolina State Bulldog went to Celebration Bowl. Celebration Bowl paid them $1 million. Now,
I don't know exactly how much they was paid, but the fact that they was in it was a good thing, and Jackson and Dion was in it. That's a good thing. You know, the thing about it, I don't think any of the schools, historical black colleges, got anything to prove. Number one.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
So to me, if you get in it, that's basically what you're saying, and you don't have to do that. You know, you be trying to prove yourself for years if that's what it's all about. It's about trying to put a good product on the field. Going to the Celebration Bowl, which, you know, for years we go to no bowl game. Let's be honest. So now you got a bowl game for historical black colleges.
Right.
You know, it's good to be able to service those games, that game, so you can feel good about what you have produced yourself and provided for us as HBCU.
Ain't no question. But I declare, Doug, and I understand thoroughly after you explained that to me, money talks, and we all know what walks, and the HBCUs need money, and Dion is going to take it's a nationally televised game. You know, Doug, we had John Grant, the executive director, on our show of the Celebration Bowl. When it comes right down to it, it's all about that money. And so, yeah, I understand. But I declare, Doug, on the other hand, Doug, excuse me for being old. Okay, I'm old.
It's all right.
but
I'm in your hood, John. It's all right.
But Doug, I remember Coach Rob knows those Grambling teams, and that's what I wanted to see. For selfish reasons, I wanted to see them play against those schools that's in that bracket, because I saw Coach Rob, and Doug, you were there. Y'all went to Oregon State, Doug, and beat Oregon State, a Pac-12 school. What was the score, Doug?
19-12.
And they called
one back.
Yeah.
And they called one back.
Yeah.
Doug, Shadir Sanders, hey, hell of a player. Good enough to play on Sunday.
Well, let me say this, John, and I'll say this too now, you know, and I don't think the historical black colleges has the same athletes when I was in school. Number one. Okay. I mean, we could have played it in my mind. I'm gonna die with this in my mind. Okay. We could have played in any conference in the country at that time. I think we could have played with anybody. I'm not saying we'd have wiped them out, but they know we was there and we were going to win some of them.
Okay.
You know, let me say that. I mean, think about this. Think about, you know, I was a freshman in 1974. I played against a guy by the name of Walter Payton, Raul Brazil, Jackie Slater, and Ricky Young. All of them was on the same team.
Vernon Perry.
Yeah, and you couldn't tell me that was a team in the country that had that kind of talent on the field at the same time.
Except what y'all had.
Yeah, we had. Let me tell you my front seven, and my front seven. If I was an NFL team, I would have took my front seven at Grambling and took them all at the same time. You know, I'm talking about my front four was Ezel Bibb, Jesse O'Neal, Robert Barber, and Big Hand Johnson, and my linebacker was Charles Battle, Robert Pennywell, and Richard Mayfield. Let me tell you, both of my outside linebacker was 6'4", 255 at that time. And Pennywell was in the middle at 6 feet, 250. You know, and I ain't even talking about the secondary where they had Hound Dog in the back there, James Hunter.
First round, Detroit line. First round.
Yeah, so when I look at today's game, we all got to be fair. Ain't nothing like it used to be. And I don't know what's going to ever be what it was at that time. But I think when you talk about comparing, I think the teams today need to stay within their era.
Okay.
You know, say this is a good team in that era. Yeah, leave our era alone.
And you're right. And Doug, and you had on offense. You had Sammy White. You had
White. I'm talking about offensive line that could block out the sun. Sammy White and Dwight Scales at end and wing back. You know, and Clifford Martin, Rodney two-roll guys like that running the ball. And I'm talking about Grambling when I was there. I ain't talking about before I got there. You know, when you want to talk about it, you're talking about Ernie Ladd, Buck Buchanan, and Garland Boyette, and guys like that. You know, Charlie Joyner, Willie Brown. Man, I'm just talking about if you want to talk about it. You know, and what I'm saying, a lot of the names that I'll call, to be honest with you, don't even resonate with some of the guys that might be listening to this podcast.
Oh, I know. And that's for the old timers. That's for the old timers, for me and you to remember. But I declare, Doug, man, I mean, I remember, man, and Doug, you guys during your time, you played Temple twice.
We split with them. They beat us 31-30 on the last second pass, and we took them to Tokyo, and we came from behind the last drive and beat them 35-32.
And then you guys flew to Hawaii, played University of Hawaii.
We flew there twice to whip them twice in Hawaii.
University of Hawaii.
University of Hawaii. That's
beautiful, Doug.
That's with what's my man who played with the Jets? That's with Woodstock. And see, Joe Colecco was with Temple when I played.
Joe Colecco.
Yeah.
Joe Colecco. Part of the sack exchange, Slim.
He didn't exchange no sack the day we played him, though.
Oh, I know that's right, Coach. I know that's right.
You know, Doug, that's a time that we'll never see again.
Oh no, it won't. You know, and people always asking me, to be honest with you, you know, with what Deion has done, I can't think of another man could do it per se. Now, you know, remember I went to Grambling in 1998, and for a 3-year run, we had a pretty good team too. We kind of dominated a little bit too. From 2000 to 2001 and 2002, you know, we had some domination too.
Okay.
But now this is 2022, and now the SWAC seeing it again in a guy that's so charismatic like Deion. Ain't but one Deion in the world.
That's right.
And you know, I don't want people, to be honest with you, I don't want people to get hyped and say every HBCU should be able to do what Deion doing.
Because they can't.
That ain't gonna happen.
No.
Realistically.
No.
Could they get some better athletes here and there? Yes. But they're not gonna go in there and do what Deion did for Jackson State. Deion has done a hell of a job for Jackson State.
There's no question.
I take my hat off to him.
Oh.
And not only that, the other HBCUs have benefited because, you know, there are more television and the fact that a lot more people are talking about it.
Okay.
But Jackson is Jackson. And if these athletic directors and presidents think they're going to go out there and get them a Deion Sanders, if it ain't Deion, they don't have nothing.
No, you're right. You're right.
You know,
but Doug, yes, what Deion has done, you got to tip your hat to him. But Doug, when you said the elite of the SWAC, it's now Jackson State and the rest. Doug, it's got Doug. I ain't never thought I'd ever see Grambling sitting up here the first week of November, 2-7 or 2-6. Come on, Doug. I mean, we want a SWAC. We went back there our first year in 2011. Your first year in the building, we walked up in there and won the SWAC. The high expectations of Grambling. Now, Doug, are those days gone by as well?
Well, let me say this. You know, when I first went to Grambling in 98, Coach Robert had 2 back-to-back 3-8 seasons. Okay. So there's been some downtime in that, but now it's really a downtime. It's they 2-6, 2-7, 2-6.
They 2-6. They 2-6.
Yeah, but that ain't something that you expect at Grambling. It's something that has happened, and you know I wish I could, you know, because I got to understand. I heard every week when I see the score, you know, because people ask me what happened. I don't know what happened. I can't answer that question. You know, all I know that I wish it didn't happen. You know, I talked to a couple people down there who always go to the game and call me and tell me, or call me during the game, let me know what the scores are, what have you. Hopefully that they can turn this thing around very, very quickly. And with the last 3 games that they have left, you can hope that they beat Alcorn, I think, this last week. and hopefully they can take that and something to build on. If you can win the next 3 games, I think what it does, it gives the team and the school hope for next year.
Okay.
So that's all you can hope for at this time.
Okay. All right. But hey, Doug, I mean, man, and I tell people all the time, when you play Grambling, it ain't the quarterback, it ain't the linebacker, it's the G.
It's Grambling.
It's the G. You playing that G. And Doug, you Jackson up there telling them you don't deserve to put that G on your man.
He trying to take the G off the helmet, Coach.
Well, let me say that. The way I look at that G, it ain't about football.
Okay.
That G is about Grambling.
Thank you.
And Grambling is located in an area that, might not get a lot of publicity, but, they got a Grambling name has been out there so long. And a lot of people resonate with that G.
Man.
I was disappointed because I can't see maybe a kid play any better to put a G on his hat. He is Grambling. That's who they are. And it ain't even about the names on the jersey. It's about the G. To me, that's what it's all about. I was disappointed, but I'm glad they found a way to put it back because that's where it belongs, and not use the. I don't think you should use the G to get a kid to play any better because if he can't play, that G ain't gonna give him nothing to play any better. If you got a young team, let them grow together, and eventually they can wear that G proudly.
Yeah, I hear you. Doug, there was a time 3-4 weeks ago, folks say, well, NFC East, Philly broke clean from the gate, and ain't nobody beat them yet, so they undefeated. We had Wink Martindale on the show, and I told Wink, I said, it's going to be 2 teams from the NFC East go to the playoffs, and y'all going to be one of them. Well, it looked like Philly going to go, and hitting.
The Commanders on a 3-game winning streak, Coach. 2 teams look like they finna go.
and it looked like
we got some catching up to do. We are on a 3-game winning streak, and hopefully Heineken Teller could come in and put a little more magic in this thing. I call him Magic Man. He willed us to the last 2 wins in the last second. I looked at that today, and we won 3 games by a total of 8 points.
Okay.
That's by the skin of your teeth.
Yeah.
If you 3 games by a total of 8 points. We got to find a way, and we got a good test this week in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And if we can find a way to come out that game, and then we play, I think it's Philly Monday night, find a way to upset Philly and then play the Falcons and go on, that'd be like a 6-game winning streak. And I think if we get to that point, I think we got a good chance.
I hope so. I should do. Ron Rivera's a good guy. I like Ron. He's a good guy, and but heck, Doug, right now, man, y'all gaining ground fast. Like I said, you got a 3-game win streak. So, now, Doug, before I let you get out of here, man, appreciate so much you covered on the show. Doug, we had Jim Caldwell on, and Jim's coming back.
Good man.
And Jim's coming back, but you guys have this quarterback academy thing, okay? Is that still on?
Quarterback Summit.
Quarterback Summit.
Yeah.
Is that still on?
Oh, yeah, ain't no doubt about it. Jim Caldwell and Jimmy Ray is actually the backbone of the Quarterback Summit.
Okay.
Coach Caldwell, man, first of all, I don't understand why Jim Caldwell not coaching the National Football.
Thank you.
I got a problem with that. That in itself. Ain't nowhere in the world that Coach Caldwell should not be leading the team.
Yeah, ain't no question.
But with this summit, man, it's great for the guys that are in the league. And I think Coach Caldwell might have explained it to you what some of the guys that are in certain position in the league, they got a chance to move up to coordinator, to head coaches, and general managers and things. That's what it's all about. We're going to get the minority guys, the black guys, the brown guys, an opportunity that hadn't been given to them. And when you get a chance to showcase them, and the good part about it, all the teams in the league now get a chance to watch on tape and everything. present themselves.
Okay.
Between quarterback coaches, coordinators, and eventually head coaches. That's what we try to do. And this past year, I mean, we had a great lineup, man. With Leslie Frazier there, with Eric Bieniemy there. I mean, we just had so many good people from the general manager and the coaching side of it to present, so people can really see that when they talk about the pipeline, John, the pipeline been full for so long.
Okay.
The problem has been, ever hear people say that the pressure in the water pipe would burst?
Yeah.
The pipeline is so full that it was pressure. Okay. They got to open the pipeline and let them out.
Okay. Yeah.
So
you're right.
That's one thing we got to do. The pipeline is open. They out there.
Okay.
We need the owners to step up to give those guys an opportunity. I think that's the most important thing.
Where will it be held this year?
Well, last year we was fortunate. It was in LA, which is great.
Okay.
At the NFL office and everything, and hopefully, we hadn't really started talking about it, but I think it's going to be in the same place. I think it's going to be in LA.
Okay.
And,
all right.
And the thing about it, we got to give Troy Vincent, man, has been a soldier for us. And take my hat off to the commissioner, Roger Goodell. They footed a whole lot, man. They fly guys in, put them up for 2 or 3 days, feed them, do whatever it takes, and put on this great summit. It's something that you can't ask for. Me and Shaq just as happy as I don't know what, along with Coach Caldwell and Jimmy Ray.
So now the short version of this quarterback summit is to get young, up and coming coaches of color intermingling with the owners and the people that make these decisions, so they get to know them better.
What we do, we put them on tape so they can see them and let them present what they presented. Certain parts of the coaching aspect and certain part of the game. Now the NFL had the program that did it before we had our summit. They brought a bunch of guys to Atlanta, and they intertwined with the owners and stuff.
Okay.
So, and some of those guys left there and also came to us. So the owners get the chance to see them full time.
Oh man. Such a needed thing, man. And that's you, Shaq, and Jim Caldwell are basically
Jimmy Ray.
And Jimmy Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Jimmy Ray. Slim. Jimmy Ray played for Duffy Daugherty at Michigan State.
He sure did. Quarterback.
I remember sitting in front of the black and white TV, eating my cornflakes and watching Jimmy Ray and play with George Webster, the linebacker.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And let me tell you about this, John. This is what we got here. Is something that's dear to my heart, and I know Shaq too. Is the Legacy Bowl. And the Legacy Bowl is an all-star game that we try to find the best players in HBCU to play in this game. And the good part about it now, the NFL, talking to the NFL, they also giving us the combine. So we'll have the combine and the Legacy Bowl all together.
So wait a minute. So ho. So you got the combine in Indianapolis. But y'all
in New Orleans.
HBCUs gonna have their own combine.
All that's gonna take place in New Orleans. The HBCU got their own. We'll bring in anywhere from 40 to 50 guys, the best of what HBCU has to offer. And we'll do the combine in New Orleans that Monday.
Okay.
And then we'll begin practice for the Legacy Bowl that Tuesday. And the game will be played that Saturday, which is February the 25th.
All in the Superdome?
No, we don't. No, we play at Tulane Stadium.
You can play, Tulane got a brand new stadium.
Yeah, they got a new stadium. Nice place.
Nice facility.
Yeah. The only thing that's going to be held at the Saints facility is the combine, because it's indoor. Okay. We'll hold the combine there.
Okay. Wow. That's gonna be on the pop.
So that way, you can run it well, tightly secured, no invite on it. Just the guys that's running the combine and the scouts that's gonna be there, and all 32 teams gonna have representation down in New Orleans that week. And the thing about that, the combine in Indianapolis not until like after that. So if some of these guys do well and to combine into the Legacy Bowl game, they might get an invite into the combine in Indy if they hadn't already been invited. 9 out of 10, you're gonna have two, maybe 1 or 2, 3 guys that's already gonna be invited.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. So now, Doug. So then you got the quarterback summit, you got the Legacy Bowl and the All-Star game, you got the HBCU Football Hall of Fame. Man, for an old geezer like yourself, man, you still carrying on scandalous, brother. You gonna ever slow down?
And we also have a game in Canton that's in September, Labor Day weekend. So we're a little busy.
Yeah, bro. My grandmama used to say you carrying on scandalous. Yeah, you carrying on scandalous.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what's so good about that, John? It ain't about me. It ain't about Shaq. It's about the HBCU. Everything we do has been about HBCU.
I hear you, man.
And me and Shaq always kid each other. 2 old country boys from Louisiana couldn't rub 2 plug nickels together. And we doing this, man. That's a great thing.
Ain't no question, Doug, man. Well, man, listen, my brother, God bless you and keep making it do what it do. Please tell Shaq that I asked about him.
Will do, man.
Please, and Jimmy Ray as well. Doug, man, listen, bro, you looking good, bro. You look good, man.
Hey, looking like old stragglers right here. Hey, look.
Hey,
what you doing all that hair on your head? I say, I'm trying to do something that y'all can't do, grow some hair.
Tell DJ I asked about him too. Okay?
I will do. Talked to him last night.
Appreciate you, Douglas Lee. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, brother. God bless. Take care. Wow. Man, Slim.
Wow. It's good to have him back on, Coach.
Oh, man, what a guy. What a guy. Let me tell you something, partner. Jesus said, if any man would be great, let him first be a servant of all. And that brother there, he understands. I tell you, my classic memory and sums up Doug Williams. First time your grandmother met him, you read about him, see the pictures of Doug Williams and everything. We were at Morehouse College. Your granny and your pawpaw came down for a football game, and I took your grandmother in his office to sit down and meet him. And her mama came out of the office. I said, what do you think? She said, Doug Williams got sold. She said, Doug Williams got sold. And yeah, he got sold. Ain't no question about it. Doug, thanks so much, man. We appreciate you, bro.
Again, Coach, thank you.
All right, now, Slim, you ready to pick him, man? You ready to pick him?
Come on, Coach. You know I'm ready.
Okay. Once more again, it's time for Slim to pick him. Take it away, dog.
Coach, UAPB, they 2-6. They at Grambling, who's also 2-6. Head football coach Doc Gamble got fired. But not for a $1.6 million 4-year deal contract. Hugh Jackson should be fired. First, the Art Brow situation. And then secondly, like we just said with Coach Williams, he tried to take the G off the helmet, Coach. I mean, clearly this brother ain't getting it. What's your take?
Slim, he ain't getting it, but at the end of the day, Grambling people don't respect Pine Bluff, and it's in Grambling. I got Grambling.
Second game, Coach. Southern, they 5-3. FAMU is 6-2. It's at FAMU. They took Coach Southern is fresh off a beatdown, 35-0 from Jackson State. Embarrassing, Coach. I mean, FAMU, they on a 6-game winning streak now that they got everybody back. They finally starting to look like the Rattlers from the preseason poll that we all thought that they would be. Coach, I like the Rattlers in this one.
I do too. I like the Rattlers as well. I look for Willie Simmons to make it 7 in a row, and they're starting to look like a preseason team that was in the top 25. So yeah, I'm like you, Slim. I like the Rattlers. No question.
Well, Texas Southern, my alma mater, Coach. They 4-4. TSU's on a 3-game winning streak. Jackson State's 5th in the FCS right now. This is going to be a very competitive game. Jackson State's in 8 games that they've played, they averaged in 167.6 rushing yards a game. They're averaging 313 in the air. Now versus Campbell State, arguably Jackson State's hardest opponent. They had 36 rushing attempts, Coach. Possessions 9/10 of the law. Clarence McKinney, I really hope you are getting this message, Coach. I like the Tigers to win it, Coach, of Jackson State.
Well, that's your alma mater. You like Tigers and Jackson State to win.
I like to be right, Coach.
Okay, you like to be right. Well, I'm gonna tell you, man. That boy Andrew Bodie, that TSU guy can play. Now, yeah, Jackson State is 8-0. It's gonna be a very competitive game. Big thing that I want to see. Clarence McKinney going to have to follow the same blueprint that that boy Mentor, the head coach at Campbell, followed when they played him. You got to run the football, Clarence McKinney. If you're going to have an opportunity to beat Jackson State and have a winning season, this will give you 5. You got 2 after that. You got Grambling and Alabama A&M after that. You get this one, that'll give you 5. You'll have a winning season. And for you to do that, you must run the football, Clarence McKinney, and keep Shadir Sanders on the bench.
Now, before I give you my pro picks, in your opinion, Coach, this trade deadline, in your opinion, who made the best, most improvements? Christian McCaffrey from Carolina to San Francisco, Roquan Smith from Chicago to Baltimore, Bradley Chubb from Denver to Miami, TJ Hawkinson from Detroit to Minnesota, Robert Quinn from the Bears to Philly, and then Jonathan Hankins from Las Vegas to Dallas.
Slim, 3 of them just stand out for me. Number 1, Jonathan Hankins. He's a bona fide run stuffer. And Dallas, as good as they are on defense, Slim, they're averaging close to 5 yards giving up per rush attempt. So they needed a run stuffer, no question about it. So I like Hankins going to Dallas because he will help stop the run, plug up for that defense. I like TJ Hawkinson. Slim, I'll tell you something. TJ Hawkinson can go. Skill-wise, he's right up there with Travis Kelce and that boy Kittle at
Kittle at San Francisco.
At San Francisco. He was just with them sorry-ass Lions, and he couldn't get no recognition. But he can ball. And you put him with Kirk Cousins in Minnesota, Slim, they already 6-1. I like that one. And the other one that I like was Miami was smart enough to understand that if they gonna make a run in the East, in the AFC East, they had to get somebody who could create some pressure and go back there and grab Josh Allen by the neck. And they did that when they brought Bradley Chubb from Denver to Miami. That's gonna help them because on offense with Tua, if they can keep him healthy and keep him upright, they're explosive on offense. They just needed some help bending that edge.
You don't think it's weird that Detroit traded in their own division? They helped Minnesota get better.
I do. I do think that's very strange. I certainly wouldn't have done that. But kudos to the Minnesota people for pulling that off. Yes, and that's almost unprecedented. A trade like that in the same division. But yeah, no question.
But Indy, Coach, they 3-4-1. And they're at New England, who's 4-4. Frank Reich benched Matt Ryan. And it looked like the Colts finna bench Frank Reich. Who you got that game, Coach?
Well, Slim, I'm gonna tell you, man. Frank Reich need to get benched. He about this far away. He got 1 foot on the banana peel. And I'm gonna tell you why. See, Frank Reich done brought 2 losers back to back at quarterback. He went out there on the limb and said, thank you, give me Carson Wentz. Okay? They went and got him Carson Wentz. Then he went and said, no, Carson Wentz can't get it done. And he sent him off to Washington. Oh, by the way, the elephant.
3-game win streak.
Hold on, yeah. I didn't want to ask Doug that, but Washington done won 3 in a row. And the elephant in the room is they ain't never played better since Carson Wentz been on the bench. But anyway. Now Frank Reich done brought in Matt Ryan from Atlanta. And he ended up benching him. So now that's strike 2, Frank Reich. And now they setting up there 3-4-1. It figured to be strike 3 on Frank Reich, I believe. If you don't hurry up, get that thing.
So New England.
I like New England. Yeah, I like New England. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, Coach. The LA Rams, they're 3-4, and they at Tampa Bay, who's 3-5. These are two underachievers going head to head, Coach. The Rams have lost 3 of their last 4. Tampa Bay has lost 5 of their last 6. The NFL champs of 2020 versus the NFL champs of 2021 in a pillow fight.
Pillow fight.
A pillow fight, Coach.
Pillow
A little sleepover pillow fight. Ooh, I'm gonna have to take the Rams in this one, though, Coach. Just because of Aaron Donald, though. Aaron Donald.
Okay, I'm gonna keep the porch light on for Todd Bowles, even though he got a mess, but because Tampa Bay got their players. Okay, that both of their tackles, Donovan Smith and Christian Wirtz, they got Fournette at running back.
Fournette.
They got
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans, and they getting back Julio Jones to say nothing of that Godwin kid.
Chris Godwin, yeah.
Chris Godwin. Todd got to try to figure out how to stop somebody, and that's been his forte. Okay, now they lost Shaq Barrett. That's gonna hurt, but still, man, their defense has been a seal. Now the other thing that's very, very obvious is that you got a 45-year-old quarterback.
45, Coach. He's 45.
Whose wife and cheering does said deuces, and that will mess with you. And you 45 years old, out there playing with them young bucks, and them legs hurt. Them legs hurt when you 35. They show as hell hurt when you 45. Slim, did you see that look on that man's face? Slim, after that Baltimore Ravens game, he was one TB12 was one bewildered looking rascal.
Yeah.
Ooh, Lord.
He looked like he was in the sunken place, Coach.
He was. So, but I'm pulling for you, Todd, man. You got to get that thing right, that ship. They're saving grace. They're in such a sorry division. Still, they're in such a sorry division.
Now, Coach, Monday night.
That's how we used to do it all the time.
Baltimore is 5-3. They had New Orleans, who's 3-5.
Okay.
With the accusation of Roquan Smith, I wish John Harbaugh had picked up Ndamukong Suh, but that's neither here nor there. At any rate, Coach, the Ravens, they're looking at the second place seed in the playoffs. For them, one rep at a time, one practice at a time, one game at a time. Who you got in this one, Coach?
Oh, man, I got Harbaugh. Man, I ain't going against Harbaugh, but
I just had to say it for the record.
I'm like, Slim, I'm going to tell you something. I was so glad to see him get Roquan Smith. He's a downhill run stopper, okay? He can plug, he can play, he plays downhill, and he plays linebacker with a vengeance. I'm like you, Slim, I wish it Harbaugh, man. Why are you getting Ndamukong Suh? Man, that would have helped too. Because here's the thing. Baltimore gonna win. Long as they keep Lamar Jackson healthy. I wasn't worried about all them few little henny penny receivers that were scattered left in available on the trade because it wasn't enough. There was not enough quality talent to make an investment in that, as opposed to going out and getting who they got in Roquan Smith. Because their formula for victory is, first of all, Lamar Jackson doing what he does so well and playing great defense. And Buffalo gonna probably get that 1 seed, but Baltimore right where they need to be to get that 2 seed. Yeah.
So, Coach, I saw your Facebook post in the FBS News. I saw your Facebook post on.
You saw it.
I saw it, Coach. I saw it.
Okay.
On these new college football rankings. These polls came up. It's all rat poison at the end of the day. But let's break it down anyway. Tennessee, they at number 1. Ohio State's at 2. Georgia's at 3.
All right.
Clemson's at 4.
All right.
Michigan's at 5.
All right.
Alabama's at 6.
All right.
And TCU's at 7. What's your take?
Well, let me ask you. Why you think Tennessee number 1? Why you think Tennessee number 1?
Because they done already proved that they can beat Alabama.
Oh.
Why is Alabama at 6?
Miyagi have hope for you. You dadgum Skippy. That's why Tennessee broke clean from the gate, number 1. Yeah, it's all rat poison, but this much we know, okay? Tennessee can beat Alabama, okay? All right. So you say you saw my Facebook post. It's all rat poison. That's all it is. I thought it was really strange, Slim, that they had Clemson 4. Because I'm going to tell you something, Slim. Clemson is 4 now. And when that last poll comes up, CFP, Clemson will be 4 again.
I agree.
Because they play with an SEC West mentality in a hoop league, in a basketball conference. And they gonna run the table. They got the little scare from Wake Forest. They got the little scare from Florida State. But they gonna run ramshackle through the rest of that ACC. Gonna play that ACC championship game. And because Dabo Swinney has stroke and 2 national titles to his credit, he's undefeated. He gonna get that 4th spot.
Okay.
Slim, Tennessee, Hendon Hooker going up between them hedges this Saturday, and he gonna whip Georgia.
That's not happening. That's not happening.
Say what?
Not happening, Coach.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna be popping my collar next week because I told you they gonna whip them. Slim. And it's gonna be 2 teams from the SEC. And the winner of the Big Ten will make one, either Ohio State or Michigan, and Clemson. Alabama got to take care of their business. This Saturday, LSU got to go to Death Valley and win. Ole Miss got to win that one. They got Austin Peay. They'll play the second teamers and get healthy on that one. Then they go to Auburn. Iron Bowl. They win that one. They handle their business. They go to Atlanta with only 1 loss, and they meet. Probably, I say Tennessee, you say Georgia, but it don't make no difference. Alabama gonna beat either one of them. But especially if I'm right, they beat Tennessee, that'll be redemption because they beat the folks that beat them. And then Alabama gonna probably get that 1 seed in the Final Four. But until then, y'all keep eat that. What Ezekiel Elliott do every time he get a first down? Feed me. Y'all keep feeding on that deadgum rat poison because that's all it is. Okay.
Well, it's good to be in the studio with you again. Anyway, Coach, good having Doug Williams back on. That was an absolute treat. Please tell him I love him, all right?
Always, man. Douglas Lee, we appreciate you, partner, man. Thanks so much for taking the time to come on our show. Slim, man, give my best to Earl Larry. One up in good old Dale City. How you dog, man? How the bulldog?
Getting bigger every day, man. I can't keep this dude out the house.
Yeah, man. You ain't got him house broke yet?
I'm trying.
All right, then, man. All right, man.
Take care, man. Tell my love, all right?
I will do just that, my friend. I certainly will. And finally, you ever heard tell of a fellow by the name of Jimmy Rain? He is the owner and CEO of Yellowwood. That's a big construction outfit out of Abbeville, Alabama. And he is the #1 man behind Auburn football. Okay? It won't be that new athletic director that came over there from Mississippi State, that fellow by the name of Cohen, whatever. He ain't gonna make that decision. In fact, this Jimmy Rain guy, he is so well known that they call him the Yellow Fella. Yellowwood. Yellow Fella. Well, anyway, Jimmy Rain, your Auburn Tiger job is open. And the 3 names that you keep hearing are Lane Kiffin, #1, Hugh Freeze, #2, and Deion Sanders, #3. And here's what it comes down to, Jimmy Rain. You can go out there and hire Lane Kiffin or Hugh Freeze. Hell, you go out there and hire the Dabo Swinney or whoever you bring in. Here's the gamble you're taking. Can either one of those guys bring in the kind of black athlete at Auburn University that Nick Saban is getting at the University of Alabama. You hire either one of those guys, and that's the risk you're taking. Or you hire Deion Sanders, who we know can get the kind of black athlete that Nick Saban wants. Proved it when he signed Travis Hunter. So at the end of the day, I guess it comes down to Jimmy Rain, are you a Yalla Fowler? And hey, that's how I see it. 6 o'clock, straight up and down.
I don't think they're going to let Deion be Deion at Auburn, bro. I'm just saying.
Well, let me tell you what. They talking about it. Here's the thing, Slim. It's you going to take the gamble, or do you go with what you know? Because here's the thing. And I didn't get a chance to finish this in my partner shop, but it's just been done with. So here's the thing. The white kid that's going to Auburn, he's going to Auburn whether they win 6 or whether they win 12. His mama and daddy met, married, and they went to Auburn. His high school coach went to Auburn. His big brother went to Auburn. His pastor went to Auburn. He been yelling War Eagle all his life. That ain't the problem. It's where Tyrone going. Where is that black athlete going? And right now, Nick Saban got a whole nother set of soul brothers over there in Tuscaloosa than what's over there in Auburn. Yes, Slim, geographically, it ain't but about an hour and a half between Auburn and Tuscaloosa. But in terms of talent, black athlete talent, hell, it's as far as New York City to Los Angeles. And that's the gamble that old Jimmy Rain's scratching his head about. Because you know Deion Sanders done already proved. He done proved that he can get what Nick Saban wants. You don't know that about nobody else. So we're going to see. We sure going to see.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's how we see it, and that's how it is.
That's how it is.
Thank God we get to do it again.
There you go.
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of HomeSpun Sports. Sports talk with a twist.
Just twist.
Of down home wisdom. Be sure not only to catch this episode on YouTube and iHeartRadio, but on Spotify, on SoundCloud. Matter of fact, anywhere that you listen to podcasts, find HomeSpun Sports there, baby. Make sure you stay updated with the content. Hit that like button, hit the comments, and stay subscribed to the channel. Coach Williams, we appreciate you, man, for being on the show again. Had to spin the block for round 2, and we love this so much. We can't wait to work with you again in the future, sir.
Thank you, Douglas Lee. Thank you, Douglas Lee.
Hey, Coach.
Yeah, man.
Let's go ahead and get up out of here.
Slim, them Stros gonna take this thing back to Houston. Dog, we are 5-0 in the bottom of the 8th. Philly, come on.
We said it. We said it in our meetings, Coach. They had to win this game because if Philly wanted, it was going to be over with. Let's go, Dusty. Come on, man.
Hey, what? He's